Hello and welcome to Bud's RPG Review, where I give my thoughts on role-playing games, card games and board games. Today's review is the Call of Cthulhu starter set for Call of Cthulhu 7th edition by Chaosium. Okay, first a bit of history. Released in late 2018 as a way to encourage and teach new players how to play the 7th edition rules, the Call of Cthulhu starter set is a thin box set containing everything a beginner needs to be able to understand how the game works. Okay, to the cover. Here we have a nice piece by Victor Laser, which pretty much sums up a group of investigators and is quite well done. Okay, to the inside. It's worth pointing out that the production values on the box itself are nice, with it being solidly made of that soft velvety cardstock. A good start. Opening the box, we are greeted with a Read Me First pamphlet that gives you the contents of the box. It says you have a set of 6 polyhedral dice, when in fact you actually get a set plus an extra dice, and that you get 5 pre-generated characters and 4 blank character sheets when you actually get 5 blank character sheets. I'm not complaining at getting extra stuff, but it does seem strange that the first thing you see gets the content incorrect. On the back of this sheet we have an advert for Chaosium itself, which has Greg Stafford's famous "We Are All Us" quote, another that discusses taking the dragon's head, which I couldn't identify despite doing a pretty thorough internet search, and the famous Lovecraftian Acklo quote that translates as "In his house at Arlay, dead Cthulhu waits dreaming." A nice advert, but I do feel that it could leave a brand new player slightly confused. Following this we have a full page advert for the Cthulhu Chronicles interactive fiction game, 5, not 4 character sheets, and a set of fully statted out pre-generated characters. And this leads us to book 1, the 56 page Alone Against the Flames. Heading into this book, it gives us an overview of the box set, followed by an overview of Call of Cthulhu itself. This leads on to the kind of things you would expect to see in a starter set, such as an example of play, how to read the dice and the like, and it's explained in a well-written, straightforward way. Alone Against the Flames has a fairly clever method of teaching you the basics of 7th edition's character creation and rolling dice. Chaosium have designed a choose-your-own-adventure-esque solo game for new players to tackle. For the purpose of this review, I sat down with the dice, a pencil and a blank character sheet and played it from start to finish, and I have to say I was really impressed. It does a great job of teaching how to assign stats, deciding on a career, working out hit points, magic points, luck and sanity, as well as teaching you the basics of assigning points to skills, while at the same time putting a single player through a solo jaunt that gives us the flavour and mood of the game. I do feel that other games may take this approach and run with it going forward, as I found it particularly impressive. Okay, on to Book 2, Introductory Rules. Standing at 24 pages, it begins by discussing the origins of Call of Cthulhu, as well as the role that the players take in all of this. It discusses the concepts of the game and gives us a taster of Lovecraft's Cthulhu mythos. I have to mention here that Chaosium have highlighted online resources. Of particular interest here for new gamers is Seth Skorkowski's YouTube channel. If you've not heard of Seth, he's definitely worth checking out, as he does some excellent videos on many aspects of role-playing, including explaining how rules work, RPG philosophy and tips for game masters. After this, we have a step-by-step guide to creating an investigator, which is really well explained, and it gives us some sample investigator occupations as well as a description of the skills, and follows it right through to the character's backstory. After this, it goes into the basic rules of 7th edition, including the mechanical changes that the system runs on, that being the sliding difficulty level scale, opposed skill rolls, and the bonus and penalty dice. It talks about players pushing a roll and the nastier consequences of it, and gives a good explanation of the luck roll, and this is followed by a really well thought out explanation of sanity and a sample list of phobias, mania and bouts of madness. It also gives a step-by-step summary of how to perform a sand check. Following this, we have a concise section on combat, including close combat, firearms and fighting manoeuvres, as well as giving rules on being outnumbered. This is followed, as you might expect, by a section on hit points, wounds and healing, as well as a table on other forms of damage, from a punch or kick to the extreme of being hit in a head-on collision with a high-speed train. Lastly, it touches upon the rewards for success and what a budding keeper should buy next. And on the back page we have a much handier than you would think quick reference chart for half and fifth values for stats and skills. Next we have Book 3, Paper Chase and Other Adventures. At 80 pages this book contains 3 scenarios, Paper Chase, Edge of Darkness and Dead Man Stomp. All 3 of these scenarios are ones that have come from previous editions and have been updated for 7th edition. Paper Chase originally appeared in the Cthulhu Companion in 1983 and was originally designed for the 2nd edition set and is designed for 1 to 2 players. Edge of Darkness originally appeared in the 6th edition rulebook, and Dead Man Stomp is from the 5th edition rulebook and has been updated by Chris Spivey of Harlem Unbound fame. All of them have been superbly illustrated throughout, and with a booklet full of high quality handouts and maps included. The pre-generated characters that are included in the box are to be used in these scenarios. Although I'm not going to spoil any of the details here, it's safe to say that these are tried and tested scenarios that serve as an excellent introduction for new players and keepers to the game. The Call of Cthulhu starter set accomplishes everything it sets out to do. It presents the rules in a clever, intuitive manner, and the whole package feels like you genuinely get your money's worth. And although the booklets are a little flimsy, they're all full colour and in quite an unusual step. You actually get more in the box than the content sheet says you do. Beginners should find this an excellent introduction to Call of Cthulhu, and I feel that it would pique their interest enough to look into buying the full game. Alone Against the Flames serves as a really smart way of showing new players the way the system works, as the whole choose your own adventure design does character creation in an easy to understand step-by-step way that never feels like it overwhelms you with information, and keeping the rules to a small 24-page book gives the impression that the system is way simpler than you could have imagined. The choice of scenarios that you have been quite cleverly selected, as they show different facets of the Cthulhu mythos and different styles of scenarios and play. I really only have one complaint about the Call of Cthulhu starter set. In order to fit the dice in, they've made the box around a centimetre longer than the other products in the series, and as a result it actually doesn't fit on my shelf. I appreciate that this is a fairly small gripe, however, when space is at a premium, it could genuinely be a deciding factor. All in all, the Call of Cthulhu starter set is one of the best starter sets I've ever seen, and is an extremely well done, well thought out product that should appeal to players old and new. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. If you enjoyed this review, please make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. Also, if you're interested in buying this product, I'll put some links below. Lastly, if you enjoy what I produce here, then maybe think about supporting me on Patreon. Bud out.